It is no secret that I really like the products from Gainlab Audio. And I think most of you were wondering why I haven't yet reviewed what is in this box. But usually what people say about me isn't what is really happening. Because the reason I haven't reviewed the Governor from Gainlab is because I was busy and then I was on holiday. So yeah, let's get started. So the Governor is a vacuum tube based optical compressor with dual slope design. I recognize the dual slope design from my, what was it named again? These products names. Bishop. The Bishop is a channel strip from Gainlab, and that one had the dual slope optical compressor in there as well. And this thing has basically that same compressor in it. I actually think that's the whole deal about this thing. But it's in stereo, so now we get 2 channels of it. So this is basically a do-it-all optical compressor, and the dual slope thing is very interesting because it has 2 separate thresholds. So you have a first threshold with a little bit of ratio and then a second threshold with a higher ratio. So that way you can, ease into the compressor. You can basically create a soft knee using that. But instead of having a soft knee knob, you have more control like this because you can really get the first stage to compress at like, I don't know, minus 60 or something. We have to find out. So in the box is a lot of styrofoam, the compressor, a power cable. Oh, and your presets for the session recall software, which I should be using, but I'm not, because taking pictures is quicker. Now let's see. This is it. Alright, so this is the Gainlab Governor. It's a dual slope valve optical compressor. That's a lot of stuff that they're saying actually in this. And they're actually, they're saying a lot. So first of all, optical compression, how that works from back in the days, they used a light bulb with a light dependent resistor to determine the curve. And if you would have like an old incandescent bulb, you would put some voltage on it and then take that away and it would still glow a little bit. So the curves were determined with the with something optical in there. I'm not sure how they are doing it in this compressor because the attack and release curves that we're getting are super quick. So I don't know about that. Also, it doesn't really sound like a typical optical compressor. It really has its own sound. So the next thing is valve in the name, which is it's full of tubes. And yes, it gets pretty warm as well. A nice space heater for the smaller studios, including mine, by the way. I can heat my studio just with my equipment. I don't need any heating. And the last part, the dual slope, which is super interesting. A little bit difficult to wrap your head around, but this compressor has 2 different thresholds. You have your first slope, your first threshold, which is more like a soft knee low ratio compression. And then your second slope is like the second part of the compression. Actually, they have it set in their manual pretty well. But this is really interesting. And the second slope changes with the adjustment of the first slope as well. And you all are going to see it in the demo in a bit. Now, a few other things that are on here. The first one that I want to show is the linked controls so that you know what is going on. If this linked control is on, everything that I'm doing up here, apart from the output gain, is mirrored to what is happening below. And you can see that with the lights here as well. Like I can adjust the compression type here and it changes over there as well. Same goes for the tube boost, which on its own is a super cool feature. It's also on the Empress and I use it, well, not a lot, but I use it whenever I need it. So we got our slopes here, we got a compression type here. This is our sidechain filter, which you can set to 40 Hertz all the way up to 250 Hertz. We got our bypass over here. We got our attack control, which is being expressed not in milliseconds or something, but in fastest to slowest. Now the top setting on the attack is the auto attack. It's an automatic determination of what the attack should be. You'll hear that it's still very fast in the auto attack mode. And release, we have fastest to slowest, nothing auto. And we've got a power switch, but we'll leave it on for now because I've been heating this thing up for like 2 hours or something before filming this video. All right, so I think what we need to do is just run audio through it. And the first thing that you'll see are these very nice retro type meters, and I actually really appreciate them. And we're actually very good around 0 dBu. This is way too nice of a level for me. Anyway, let's first listen to the tube boost. It's really interesting. So full boost. We're getting a little bit of gain boost, of course. I really like the edge that it is giving. A new feature on here that's not on the Empress is the air. It is slight. I hope it comes across in the YouTube codec, but I like it. Let's leave that on. Let's leave it on. Why not? All right, compression type, we leave that at soft for now. And we're going to increase the threshold here. So there you see, we start compressing. Very, very fast indeed. So fast that it's hard to believe that this is an optical compressor actually. It can really chuck in there. Let's enable the sidechain filter as well. And wait for a part with drums. Let's put the threshold a little bit more over here and let's introduce that second slope. But you can see over here, we've got a second gain reduction meter here. And you can see that second one really gets in there on the louder hits here. Now what is interesting to see is that if I start to decrease the threshold, that the second slope also falls off, so it follows the first one. And you can really use that second slope for like the more extreme peaks, while the first slope is doing some more general compression. Now what I really want to do here is slow this compressor down a lot actually, because I really like how it sounds slowed down. Let's start the track again. Make it even slower. Increase our sidechain filter. Put some second slope on it. Oh, that's too much. You can really hear that the second slope almost is a limiter, like it's way steeper. It takes a little bit of time to wrap your head around this concept. Because I've been using the Bishop, I understand it a little bit better, but I remember that it took me some time to get used to that one as well. Now what's interesting is that we are still at soft and it's already, you know, it's really there. And in order to go further, I need a different song actually, because this will sound really bad on this song. Let's see if I can get a different song. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. Okay. So just on bass, like imagine what it can do just on bass. This thing can really chop. It's really like it's not like it tries to replace a different optical compressor or something. It sounds like nothing else. Let's go to hard. Which is like basically just limiting everything. It's so Like if I would have this thing in my studio, I would mostly use it on soft, like medium and hard. Maybe on some solo instruments for certain effects, but on a more master bus focused approach, I would really use it on soft. Now let's take that bass line. So we're still in stereo. It's a mono bass line, I know. Is it? Yeah, it's very mono. Yeah. But I'm doing dual, like, I don't know. It's better to do this in stereo. All right, let's see what this thing can do on just a recorded signal. So not mix bus, but just like an acoustic guitar. All right. I think this is directly out of the microphone, no EQ, no nothing. Okay. Okay. I mean, the second slope, that the fact that it's on there doesn't mean that you always need to use it. By the way, I can unlink it. That second slope really is just there just to catch a little bit of those extreme peaks. I mean, it sounds pretty extreme now, but quite honestly, I do like to compress my acoustic guitars quite a lot in certain mixes, because they have to fight against some very strong instruments sometimes. All right, so lastly, I want to check how this thing is doing on vocals.
There has to be another way, 'cause right now I'm always overthinking, and we've been running astray. Right now our biggest ship is sinking, so don't say we're too young to know, 'cause you have to go when you're fighting foes, and every single day we're trying to stay even score.
A bit of the bishop apply, like the bishop is really well for vocals.
'Cause our future's moonlit. Stand up, go on, we can waste a day, 'cause we'll win if we make a stand. Speak up, hold on, yeah, we'll find a way to be brave, brave. Stand up, go on, we can waste a day, 'cause we'll win if we make a stand. Speak up, hold on, yeah, we'll find a way to be brave, brave.
Okay, so yeah, the Governor, if you haven't noticed it already, is really a optical compressor that doesn't sound like any optical compressor at all, if you ask me. It's really a compressor on its own. I actually don't know if it's the same type of compression as is in the Bishop. It's of course a little bit more advanced, but yeah, it really is a more unique piece. And if you need one, fully depends on your application, of course. It's a bit more of a niche thing, this one. It's not like a general slam this thing on everything and everything is going to sound great type of compressor. It really is the type of compression that you've just seen. All right, so it sells for 2,749 euros, which is, well, I think pretty much on price point for the build quality, the sound quality, and the type of product that Gainlab is selling. It's pretty much on point. Again, I really like their products. I kind of think that they're a bit more accessible than other products, although I'm not always so sure about that because, you know, there has been an influx of really, really affordable products in the market lately, of which I actually should review a few as well and maybe compare them with these type of products. Am I going to get one? Well, I don't know yet. This one is not from Gainlab. This one is actually supplied to me by the people from Amtech, the Dutch distributor of Gainlab. So huge thanks to Amtech for supplying this unit. This is their demo unit. This one has to go back to them for other demos. And honestly, this might be the first Gainlab unit where I'm not immediately jumping into a purchase as I did with the other units. First of all, because it's very specific. Second of all, because I'm running out of rack room. My room really gets a little bit too small lately, and I have to be a little bit more efficient with my gear and my gear purchases. So I rather spend the money in a different direction than this. So I think this is the first Gainlab product that I don't immediately, you know, want to have and need. It's a bit, this one is just a bit more specific. Anyway, that's all that I have to say about the Gainlab Audio Governor. This video was not sponsored. Again, this unit has to go back to Amtech. People from Gainlab don't get to say anything about what I can say or cannot say in my video, and I like to keep it that way. So if you like my videos and want to support me, consider using my affiliate links. I'll link to Thomann, Sweetwater and Plugin Boutique in the description down below. They're also over here. This unit is not available on Thomann. And also not on Sweetwater, I just checked. So yeah, that shouldn't withhold you from buying such a unit, of course. But you can't buy a Gainlab product without kicking something back to me. Anyway, if you use my affiliate links to buy something else than the Gainlab Audio, a little bit of your purchase gets kicked back to me. So really, it's really appreciated if you do it. There are QR codes over here and links as well. So keep them in mind and use them whenever you want to buy something new. Another way to support the channel is by donating 99 cents every month towards me, and that way you're keeping my channel independent. And there will be a join button somewhere down below. Make sure to check it out. 99 cents per month, and you're getting a little star behind your name showing that you are supporting me whenever you are placing a comment under my videos. There are also other tiers for early access and exclusive content. I'll link the exclusive content over here. And of course, if you want to support me by just watching more videos, that's highly appreciated. So I'll link an interesting video over here. Thanks a lot for watching, keep pushing, and bye bye.